how can I get ready to start building my content properly before I, let's say, connect with you and and get it ready for Google?
Yes, that's a great question because I think most clients skip this part, and I would always tell them to know who your target audience is. That's the first thing that they have to do. Know who you want to serve, okay? Because as I mentioned, if someone is searching something for Google, they are ready to know, or they are they are trying to answer their own question. And if you don't know who your target audience is, then you cannot craft a content, or you cannot design your website tailored to that audience. It will be very generic, which is when you are writing, for example, you're writing about productivity, or let's say your website is about productivity, and your let's say a blog post is what is productivity. So it's very generic, like what is productivity, and almost no people no one ever types in what is productivity on Google. So that's one. Or if probably there's some people who would type that in, what is productivity,
Hmm.
but the websites that would come up would be most likely Wikipedia or
Yeah.
dictionary, the very basic or the very high authority websites. You cannot really outrank those. So what you have to do is to really know who your target audience is, tailor your content and your the website experience to them, and before you actually set it up. So that's
And
very important.
so when you're saying, like, instead of writing what is productivity, like, give an example of what they would change it to instead of what is productivity.
Okay, so what is productivity is, it's a very general question. So
Hmm.
if you want to target a specific audience, you can maybe write about let's say productivity tips for work from home moms. So that's very
Hmm.
specific. You're targeting a specific audience, and you are tailoring your content and your website to serve that specific market. So that's one. You can
So
write, say, productivity tips for work from home moms, or maybe, let's say, how to be productive while in college. Very specific questions, very specific keywords that you can work on.
and that so those so when the person is searching that, it will connect it to your website if
Yes,
you
definitely.
if it's done correctly. Okay,
Yes,
that is
that's right.
fantastic. So and then so when it comes to what have you seen as far as when you've helped a client, what have you seen the difference from having SEO and not having SEO?
Okay, so one of the major, I think, breakthroughs that I can share was back in February. I had a client. He's in real estate, so definitely the pandemic affected affected the business. But back in February, he was able to hit his highest income month in February, and I felt like he told me that without SEO, he won't be able to prepare. I mean, not necessarily prepare, because I mean, who was ever prepared for the pandemic, right? But he meant that if we did not work on his website, then he would not make that much money in February, and probably be
Hmm.
broke for the next few months while the business was down. So that's
Yeah,
one thing
yeah.
that I really it really hit me how important this how important SEO is in general, because it really sustains the business. And yeah, I guess that's one. It sustains the business, and even if the business was affected by the pandemic, because we already up like we already prepared it for any type of update, or any type of any unnecessary or unplanned events like this. So we were
Hmm.
able to sustain it, and it's still going strong. It's actually picking back up this past few months. So that's
That's
one thing
good.
that I
That's
can
very
share.
good.
Hmm.
That's fantastic. So that's good that is, you see the difference in helping, other entrepreneurs, and to see their businesses moving in the right direction so that
Yes,
they can be inspired to do it every day. That's the whole key,
yes,
right?
definitely,
So
definitely.
so who inspires you? Like, I know you're sharing with me, what it is that you do and how you came to this path, but who inspires you every day?
Oh, who inspires me every day? Definitely my daughter. I mean, she is the reason why I ventured into this. So, since working from home, so we've literally been together 24/7 for, she's 4 years old now.
Hmm.
She's with me 24/7. So while I'm working on my computer, she's just there, probably like, playing with her toys, but every time I look at her, like, I'm just so thankful that I'm able to do this with her. Like, I'm able to work on these client projects while literally seeing her grow like every day. So that's just one experience that it's priceless, really.
I love it. And if you were able to, like, say something, an advice to entrepreneurs as a whole, because you said that you were a professor and now you're an entrepreneur, what would you share with them?
Well, that's quite hard because, well, I mentioned I was probably an accidental entrepreneur, but I guess, one thing that I could share is to really just find something that you enjoy, something that, they always say that, entrepreneurs do not want to work 40-hour weeks, but they're willing to shell out, 80 hours of their week to work on their business. You know, but the thing there is that because when you're working, or when you're working for something, or working on something that you genuinely enjoy, that you are passionate about, you don't care about the hours, really. So that's why it's okay to work more hours in a week, or it's okay to, really spend time building your business because you are enjoying it, and you're slowly seeing the results of your hard work. And that for me is, I think, one of the best, personal achievements that you can say, that you've worked on your business and you've seen this happen, you've seen things happen, and now you are 4 years in. So yeah, that's
That's
that. Just find
beautiful.
something that you enjoy doing and you're passionate about.
Now I know you mentioned about like personal development, professional development is big for you. Why is that?
Well, growing up, we were, taught to never stop learning. I guess that's the phrase. You just never stop learning. Like, every day you learn something new, and, you just can't, like, be stagnant. For me, like, when I quit my, teaching job, I thought I was going to stay home for a while before I find another job. So I got pregnant and then had my kid, and then, but eventually, even when I was staying home and taking care of my kid, I was learning a lot of things. And I think that's one thing that really pushed me to, okay, let's do this, let's start something that would make a change, so, something that would, it really inspired me to do better every day. So because I'm learning something new every day, so it's very important for me. And it to I also want my daughter to learn that way, because really learning never stops. You can learn from anywhere.
That's true.
You can
You
learn
can
from
learn from
people.
everyone.
Yes, that's
Yes,
true. Hmm.
you can. And if you're not learning, what are you doing? You're stagnant.
That's
So
true.
it's important. You're absolutely correct on that. So
Hmm.
when it comes to, you know, here we are, we're discussing how you went through this journey of learning a whole new career, a whole
Hmm.
new aspect of your life, as far as, being home, being a at home mom, but now you're working from home. What would you share when it comes to have you seen any difficulties? Because a lot of times I think when an entrepreneur to be is thinking about starting something, everything looks perfect, right? Oh my God, this person just started and they started to make money immediately. Like what would you share with them when it comes to struggles or overcoming challenges, starting a business, especially from home?
Okay. Well, I had a lot of struggles starting out. So I think, when it comes to starting, a this type of business where you can actually work from home, the most important thing is to always go back to why you're doing it. So that way you'll be inspired to keep going, just keep going. So I think when it comes to my experience, it's always like, for example, when I left the teaching job, I didn't have a backup plan, or I didn't have a solid plan really on what I'll be doing for the next 2 or 3 years after I quit the job. I just wanted, the main reason was, my thinking then was that I just wanted to take care of my daughter. That's it. And every time I think about that, it inspires me to really, okay, since I want to take care of my daughter, so I want to create this business from home that would actually support me, support our family, while allowing me to take care of her. So really, I think it's I'm serving my daughter, and I'm also serving my personal development and my professional development. So, but of course, with all the struggles, every business is hard. Like, starting a business is hard, but the hardest part is always the beginning. So once you're past that hurdle, you can just keep going, and everything will be easier. Everything, well, not necessarily easier, but you'll get used to it. You'll get used to the struggles, and you'll
Yeah.
know better on how to solve them.